Hi, this is Miss Holt, and tonight we're going to be working on Eureka Math, and we're working on Kindergarten, Module 4, and we're going to do lesson number 4. So the first page in your packet that you got last week from this lesson looks like this. It is page 10. And this is just a quick review in case, you need some refreshers on how to work all this out. So you can get your page, pencil, and pause this and then come back and we'll start. So I'll give you a minute. Okay. All right. So we're ready to start. So here's our I can statement for this lesson. I can represent stories with drawings using number bonds. Okay, so quick review about number bonds. Remember what we do is we take a whole set, and what are we going to do? Do you remember? We're going to break it into two. You ready? Break it into two. Okay, so we have a whole, and then we break it into two parts. Okay, and in this section we're going to do that using a story. So I'm going to use one of mine that my kids in K4 know very well. So I have 4 dogs. Okay, so in my number bond story, my whole is going to be 4 dogs, okay? So I can draw them. Well, they're not great, but they're dogs. 1, 2, sorry, they don't have faces. 4 tails, and 4. Okay, so 4 dogs. Now we're going to break those into 2. So I have to think about my dogs and think about how I can break them into 2 different parts. Okay, because in a story, unlike cubes where we'll just we can randomly snap it into 2 numbers, in a story we have to think about things about the items that we're going to sort them by. Okay, so there's 2 big good ways to sort my dogs. One of them is that I have got 3 boy dogs and I have 1 girl dog. So if I have 4 dogs, okay, 1 is a girl and 3 are boys. So to do that on this, I'm going to draw my little girl here. That's Pepper. And then I'm going to draw my 3 boys. Over here. And that's Elliot, Loki, and Petey. Okay? So I have 4 dogs all together, right? And then I have my break apart is 1 and 3. Okay? Now, if I want to do that with numbers over here, okay, I can do, how many total do we have? We have 4 total dogs. So I write the number 4. Now, how many girls do I have? I have one girl. And then how many boys do I have? 1, 2, 3. I have 3 boys. So we took a story, we took an aspect of the characters in our story, and we sorted them. Okay? Another way you could do it is, I have 2 old dogs and 2 very young dogs. So that would look like this. I'll take 1. I'll put Elliot over here because him and Pepper, they're the puppies. And so now I have 2 and 2. So I have to change this, right? Is it still going to equal 4? Yeah. I didn't get rid of any dogs. I'm just resorting them, okay? So I have 2 puppies and I have 2 old dogs. And that's actually a very interesting mix. So this is the same as that, okay? Now, let's look at your actual page in your book. Okay, and I'm going to have to kind of hold it up like this. All right, so top of your page says draw and write the numbers to complete the number bonds. Okay, so this is just working straight with numbers. Okay, now right up here we have some clues, right? We have clue of where to put things. So we see that this is the whole because it's the big main one and it's got the two parts coming off of it. So we're going to put all 5 blocks in the hole, right? Okay, and so over here we have the number 5 and that corresponds to this, right? So these two are the whole. So we have to split it up into here. And that is your choice, how you choose to do it. So if you have 5 of something, like my yellow blocks, what are some ideas? How can you do it? So with my class, we kind of started on one end, right? And we would say, just take one off. All right, 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we have 1 and 4 and put those together. The whole is still 5, right? 1 and 4. Now, if you want to take it back and take off 2, okay? Now we have 1, 2, and we have 1, 2, 3. All right, so we can do it like that. And we can put them back together, and now we're going to kind of start seeing the same numbers just in different order. So we have 3, and then we have 2. Right, and then we go back to this 1 and 4. Now we can always also do this one 5 and 0. That's advanced. If you thought of that, you're super smart. Okay, so here's our paper, and what you do is you make your decision. You can use your pencil if you want to up here and say, okay, I'm gonna block off 1, 2. So we're going to do 2 and 3, okay? So here's where you're going to use your blocks, okay? So in this, you're going to either put 2 or 3. I'm having to do this backwards, so excuse me. 1 and 2, okay? So what do we put over here? The rest of them, 3. 1, 2, 3. Very good, okay. So we have 2 on this side, 3 on this side, and do they equal 5? Yes, they do. We can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so it's kind of like a equal. Like everything down here has to be the same number that's up here, right? All right, so now we're going to do numbers, just like we did, well, back there with my dogs. We're going to do numbers, okay? So instead of the blocks, we're going to use actual numbers. So here's 5 blocks, here's your 5. So now we have to plug in whatever numbers you used. So if you used mine, you're going to be putting a 2 and a 3. You might have used 1 and 4, or you might have done 0 and 5. But I'm going to write it like this because some things I can write upside down, some things I can't. So there is your 2 and 3. All right, so this is practice that we would have done in class. So this is us working through it together. Now down here, it's the same kind of thing, but we have no clues. We have this one, we had our bars here, and we had our number. This one we have no clues, so we have to count. So it's the shape of a heart, okay? And we're going to count 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so we have 4. We have 4 hearts. Now, 4 is our whole, okay? So 4 has to go in, just like here, has to go right here, all right? And the number 4 has to go in the other one. And that's going to be, just like the 5, it's going to be right here, okay? So I'm going to put it down to do that because it's really hard to do it like that. 4 and 4. Okay, so take a minute. I drew my 4 hearts here. 1, 2, 3, 4. and then number 4 here. And just remember, this is a video, so if anytime you get behind or you need a little more, just hit pause and then catch up and then go back to play. So here's 4 and 4. Now we're going to split it up. So how do you want to split it up? I don't know. Let's get our blocks. Let's see what our choices are. So if I have 4, and I'm going to use red, all right, if I have 4, I can, well, take 1 off, and that's 1 and 1, 2, 3, okay? Or I can break 2 off, and that's going to be what? 1, 2, 1, 2, 2 and 2. All right? So how do you want to do it? You do it how you want to do it. I think I'm going to do it like, I'm going to show you. All right, I'm doing mine. Are you doing yours? Okay. So here's mine. I did 2 and 2. 2 and 2. So what's up here has to match what's down here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. So we have broken up the 4 into 2 sets of 2 and 2. So here's the number 4. Now we have to plug in these numbers. And it's pretty easy because it's the same number. What number is it? The number 2. So let's do 2 and 2. Okay. So that is what your first problem set should look like. Okay. And let's flip it on the back. Or yours isn't on the back. Let's go to the next page. All right, so the directions for this page say, look at the picture. Tell your neighbor a story about the dogs standing and sitting. Draw a number bond and write numbers that match your story. Okay, so first of all, we have to count and see how many dogs we have. So we're gonna count together. I'm gonna find them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so how many whole? What's the whole? It's 5. Very good. 5, 5, 5. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and draw a number bond on here. Now, the directions say to write the numbers. So we are not going to be drawing dogs. We're going to be writing numbers, okay? Now, another thing we're going to do is we're going to look through, because remember, this isn't about just breaking up colors. This is about a story. So we have to be look at the details of the story. So it says some of the dogs are sitting and some of the dogs are laying down. So I'm going to circle the ones, no, some of them are laying down, some of them are standing. Sorry, standing. So I'm circling the ones that are standing. Okay? I'm going to put a triangle around the ones that are laying down. And you can see it on your paper, but just in case you don't have it with you. So I put circles around the standing dogs and I put triangles around the laying down dogs. Standing like, yeah. Okay, so how many dogs do we have all together? 5. Okay, so that's going to be our big whole number is 5. And now we have to tell a story about the ones that are sitting down and the ones that are standing up. So my story is, one day a group of dogs who were guarding the castle were very tired and decided to take turns resting. So while 3 of the dogs stood at attention and made sure the castle was safe, 2 of them laid down to take a rest. And then later they switched. Okay? So that's my story. And the castle stayed safe. The end. So we have 5, right? How many were standing and guarding the castle? 3. 3 circled dogs. How many were laying down and taking their break? 2. Okay, so we have 2. All right, so if we wanted to write this out as an equation, we could write that. And what that means is 3 standing up dogs plus 2 laying down dogs equals 5 guard dogs. All right, now that was the lesson part. The next part is was supposed to be a homework part. And you should have done this for homework. But I'm going to show it to you, and we're going to talk about the first one, and then I'm going to stop, and I'm going to let you do the other ones by yourself, because I don't want to do all of it for you. And I think if we do the first one together, then I think you're good to go on the other two. So come to this page. This is the homework page. And it says, finish the number bonds, finish the sentence. Okay? So what we're looking at is, I think I'm put a little more thought into this. So what are all these things have in common? We have strawberry, watermelon. They're all what? Fruit. Very good. Okay, so they're all fruit. Now, how many pieces of fruit do we have? 3. Very good. Now, they've already put 3, right? Now, I know you know your sight words. Okay, 4. So, 3, and we can read this, right, is blank and blank. Okay? So 3 is blank and blank. So we look here. All right, 3 is what? So how many strawberries are there? 2. How many watermelons? Okay. So 3 is 2 and 1. Right? I remember doing this very well with my class. So when you look at this, 3 is 2 and 1. Now you come over here and you have to plug it in, right? So which one is empty? Which one of the circles in the number bond is empty? Right, the whole, okay? So what we have to do is we have to put that number here, all right? We already have 2, we already have 1, so what number is left? The whole, which is 3. There you go. 3, 2, and 1, okay? Now, down here we have the same thing. We have animals, right? And how many animals do we have all together? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. So blank is blank and blank. So how many total do we have? That's what you're going to put here. And then you're going to look at how they split up. How many of these, is it a bear? Yeah, I guess it's a bear. 3 bears, and then 1 walrus. Okay? So 4 is 3 and 1. All right, here's your hole. Plug this in. Okay? I'm going to let you do this one totally by yourself. I'll read you the directions. It says, tell an adult a story about the animals, and then make a number sentence and a number bond about it. Okay, so you have to make a number, you have to tell a story. And just like the dog story, just anything. It can be like 3 giraffes went to the store and met 2 elephants, and they talked about coconuts and went home. It can be whatever you want it to be. That's your story. So get this done, see how you did. If you have any questions, you can put them in the comments. Or if you're in K4, you can text me or you can text your teacher. We are here to help you. But this should be a review. It should be pretty easy. The next one I'm going to do is Lesson 5, so look for that. And I hope you all have an awesome night. And I will see you soon. Bye.